All right, so Lil Durk says that he doesn't like women with high body counts. Now, any man that would have a issue with what Lil Durk said has, in my opinion, no respect for themselves. Now, I know a lot of women gonna call me, well, he's contradicting himself. Well, what do you call a man that doesn't have respect for himself? No, 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 no. Let's talk about nature. Now, I'm not advocating for men to sleep with a lot of women, but we cannot deny the facts that since the beginning of time, men have had multiple wives. Men plant the seed to procreate the earth. That is a fact. We cannot argue the fact, right? Now, does it make it right in some people's eyes? Of course it doesn't, because some people do not believe in that particular ideology. But regardless of what you believe about the ideology, let's talk about the facts. So, because the man has a seed, we had to populate the earth. Of course, men had to impregnate different women just so we can populate the earth. That's a fact. So, for any woman that tries to negate what I'm saying, go do your history and then come back and comment. Don't get in your feelings. Do your research. Now, in my opinion, when it comes to a woman's womb, because a woman's wombs cultivates life, right? It cultivates life. And it is the most precious possession that a woman has, in my opinion. That's why virgins, when you do your history, virgins have always been looked at as valuable. A woman that has been touched has never been regarded more valuable than a woman that has not been touched. Now, let me give you some young men some game. So they're going to say, well, how do you know if a woman is truly, truly, true in telling you the truth about her body count? In my opinion, it's not smart to ask a woman how many men she's had sex with. It's intelligent and smart to get to know her dating history. And once you communicate about her dating history, then 9 times out of 10, you can see was she in short-term relationships or was she in long-term relationships. And let me give you an example. I remember when I was dating a woman that was 35, right? And in the process of us getting to know each other and see what a lot of men make mistakes is y'all don't get to know women. Y'all just jump in the bed with them, get an emotional connection or soul tie, and then now you claiming a woman, not knowing her backstory, not knowing the things that she's been involved with. Now, when her character arises and she exposes who she is, now you in your feelings and you got a problem. But because you did not vet her, you have to vet these women. Now, so she had a kid, right? She had a kid. Well, how long did you and your kid, now this is just during the course of us getting to know each other. Well, and we hadn't even had sex at the time. Well, how long were you and your kid's father together? Oh, we were together 10 years. Okay. Well, what age did y'all get together? Uh, 19. Okay. Did you lose your virginity to him? Yes. 10 years, 19, 35. 10 years, 19, 29. So for 10 years, that particular woman had only slept with one man, and that was the father of her child. Then after that, she had a 6-year relationship. Now that's only 2 men because she was a committed woman. She didn't believe in infidelity. She did not believe in cheating because these are questions that I asked. And her story lined up because, okay, boom. I know who the father of a child was. Boom. I remember the guy she dated for 6 years. Boom. I'm the third person and she's 35 years old. She didn't have a high body count. How did I know? Because I got to know that woman and I got to know the men she was involved with. Not on a personal note, but I got to know them. I know who they're. Okay, that was him. And she believed in being committed. So When you get to know a woman, you get to understand her. You can vet her, and when she tell you she's only been with two men at that time at 35, I can believe her because she's been in long distance relationships. See, me, I like to find women that have been in long distance relationships. I mean, long term relationships, not long distance, but have been in relationships for a long time. Those are the type of women that I get to know. If a woman is jumping from man to man and she's not used to being in committed relationships, I kind of stay away from them because that lets me know she's loose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she loose. She like to run around. Then not only that, I pay attention. Does she drink? Does she smoke? Is she in the streets all the time? Mm-hmm. Do she hang around a lot of men? What type of friends she hang around? Do she hang around women that are always in the club? Do she hang around women that are getting high? Do she hang around women that's getting drunk all the time? Do she hang around women that don't believe in long term relationships? See, you gotta vet a woman because birds of a feather usually flock together. Now, every now and then you have that one anomaly, but for the majority. So I'm giving you young men some game. I'm giving you young men some game. You want a woman with a value system. You want a woman that believes in God, regardless if you don't believe in God. You want a woman that believes in God because a woman is always supposed to have headship, a covering, or leadership in her life. And a woman that is not submitted to God is not going to value herself to the extent where she's not tripping about men running in and out of her. But a woman that's submitted to God and has a godly value system, you're not just running through them. Now, what they say, well, it's a lot of freaks in the church. There's a difference between a woman going to church and have a value system of God. That's two different things. Y'all got to get wise up, fellas. You got to wise up. So I'm with Lil Durk. I do not date women or get involved in relationships with women with high body counts because I get to know them. Their story has to add up with what they're telling me. And when I'm talking about being in a relationship with a woman, I take my time. There's a difference between me dealing with a woman, talking to a woman, communicating with a woman, having fun with a woman, versus actually giving my heart and my soul and opening up my life to a woman where I want to put a ring on it or actually marry her. Two different things. And so my advice is get to know her family, get to know her triggers, get to know her bad experiences in life, get to know when was the first time she had sex. Was the first time she had sex, was she raped? Was she molested? Was it in the context of a relationship? Did she just do it because her friends told her to, said it felt good? So you have to find these things out, but that takes time. And a lot of times the issue is we're in a rush, just trying to get between the legs, but we're not trying to get to know her. So it's very smart. Man, I just gave y'all $1 million word game. I promise you, I gave y'all $1 million word game. Get to know her if you really want to be with her. Understand her temperament. And one of the most important things that you can find out is she had a active, productive father. We understand that a lot of men in these women's lives that just there. But there's a difference between being in a woman's life and covering her and just being in her life. So you want a man that covers her. A man that, see, I want a woman that her dad wants to sit down with me and have a conversation. That way, see, that means that man is covering that woman. And that woman is not, 9 times out of 10, has not been loose because her father has been covering her, protecting her. And that's the type of woman you want to make a wife. A woman with a godly value system, a woman with a positive, productive father who has covered her, because all women are supposed to have a covering. Look at the majority of women that didn't have a productive father in their life. Just go look at their lifestyle. I'm talking about the average woman that didn't have a dad in her life. Look at what she's doing. Look at the things she posts on social media. If a woman has one picture showing off her butt, that is a no-go. You don't want one woman that has pictures that is focused on her glutes. You don't want that. That means she's desiring the wrong attention. I just gave y'all $1 million word game. We don't do high body counts.